Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons. In the previous episode, we wrapped up a few loose ends on the overworld, then hunted down the 4 golden beasts that roamed Holodrum, and as reward for slaying them, obtained the amazing red ring, which doubles the damage your sword deals with no downsides. Oh, and we sort of kind of stepped foot into the 7th dungeon and got about a third of the way through it. So in this episode, we're going to be wrapping up the rest of the Explorer's Crypt, although you probably saw that coming. So, we finished the previous episode by lifting the curse in this room, allowing us to travel through here without risking the torches going out and us getting warped back to the entrance. And so now we can head down to floor B2. And as you can see immediately, things get a little complicated. So we have more darkness in here. But how can we take care of those 2 over there? Well, you remember those guys wear metallic armor, right? Make sure you let go when they're over the pit, though. And so, thanks to that, we can cross over here. And now we can reach this switch. And striking will activate those spinning, whatever they are. Now we can... Oh, no, you don't. Anything more in... Oh, wow, that helped. Is there going to be anything more? Is there going to be anything new in these pots even though we just destroyed them? Oh, look, a fairy! So, now we can head across here. As per usual, be very careful. If you are very fast, you can change direction in midair and latch onto another one of these spinning things. As mentioned, though, you got to be very careful or you'll just end up falling into the abyss. Careful. Careful. There we go. And so now we have 2 trampolines here. And, curiously enough, you can't move them. I guess the dev team did think of that. That'd be kind of a shame if you pushed them off into the pit and you had to go all the way back to the entrance of the room and leave and come back to get them to return. Let's pretend that one of these days I will be a competent Let's Player. One of these days. So, anyway, we get back here. We want to take this blue trampoline first, the one we're used to. This will send us up here, where we have some stall foes to get rid of. Mind the fireballs these statues shoot, though. Killing them opens the door up to the north there, and makes the torches stop firing, fortunately. It's a nice help. And now we want to take this red trampoline. You see, it differs from the blue one in that it sends you up 2 floors. Some fancy footwork to be done here. Fortunately, the bubbles stayed out of our way, so it wasn't that much of a problem. Drops us down here. You can use that trampoline to get back up as necessary. And slaying these enemies lets us go through here to what seems to be a dead end with a chest in it. Ooh boy, I hope there's something good in here, right? So, we got, well, looks like it's, well, let's just say hopefully your timing is good. Once we get these keys out of the way, got it? Good. Gotta jump perfectly to land on this platform, and then jump a second time. Jump the gun a little with moving there, no pun intended. Ah, damn, the heart's gone. And another jump. Will put us on this chest where we can obtain Rock's Cape. Press and hold the button to perform a double jump. Yes! This has gotta be one of the coolest items in Zelda history right here, this baby. Lets you glide over long pits just effortlessly. Like, look at that. We barely would have been able to clear that with a perfectly spaced Pegasus Seed boosted jump before, and now we can just glide right over it. So, you can use Rock's Cape in one of 2 different ways. You can just press the button a second time in midair, or just hold it down, and you will still perform the double jump. It's very, very flexible and versatile, and it's just amazing overall. It's a really cool item, guys. And this is actually its debut. If those of you might remember, it also shows up in 4 Swords and later on the Minish Cap. And as you can see, that is how we're going to be crossing these larger gaps elsewhere in the dungeon. Of course, first we got to do something about this lock block, which means we got to go search for a key. The good news is there is one spot we went by before. That, oh boy, yeah, well, at least it was only 1 heart when we have 11 of them. But there is a spot elsewhere in the dungeon where we saw a gap that we couldn't cross. That we now can. There's a quick pit stop here to refill these. Careful. Shame Rockscape doesn't help us get through this a little faster. Still gotta use the... Oh, wait, no. Actually, we can totally jump this gap here. So we want to quickly run across this before the spinning tiles cover it. Although, if you have a Pegasus seed, Rockscape will get you across that gap. Across here with the safety of the blocks to keep us... That's a really smart move on the developer's part. They're putting those blocks there to protect you from the spinning tiles. Just barely crossed it. Yeah, time it right, and you can cross gaps of 4 with Rockscape, excuse me, while I let go of A there and didn't press it fast enough the second time. That wasn't very smart on my part. Let's play Curse. What can you do? Anyway, we have more Magnites. Lovely, isn't it? The good news is with the red ring, it gets a little easier to kill them. Haha! So we have a staircase here. A trampoline there, another way to go up there. And this will give us a way to see exactly what we gotta do with that trampoline. Seems we gotta push it a little further to the north. Did we totally? Yeah, we totally landed on it. Let's push this up. Doesn't let us push it into the water. Nice move, dev team. Land perfectly onto that platform. Your move, Mario. And so now we can finally do something about this iron ball and that switch we saw earlier. And, well, sure hope there's a key in this chest, but of course there is. They wouldn't leave you hanging like that. So we got to get back to the room from before. And it might take a bit considering we got to redo this puzzle. See you in a minute. And so, now, with key in hand, whoopsie. You want to get across here quickly because these spinning tiles will take away much of the ground you can stand on to cross this. And as you can see, anything that isn't a spinning tile is breakaway. Careful, you want to be very careful with your footing there. Actually, if I remember correctly, not all of those tiles do come to life. Some of them don't. That makes things a little more manageable. This is rather interesting. We get a quick view of an area a little down below with some interesting platforming to be done. Yes, they do some unusual stuff in the second half of this dungeon. Now we have some mold orms to slay under an area that is nothing but cracked ground. Keep moving. Or, well, if you don't have the red ring, you could pull a link to the... You could pull what you do to the Moldorm boss and a link to the past and shove one down a pit. So a perfectly timed jump here will get you across. Nothing too complicated. And so heading into here, yes, that's right. You want to have, first of all, you want to have some means of igniting torches. You want to have ember seeds, whether that be the slingshot or seed satchel. Second of all, I want to take off the red ring just to make the subsequent fight here a little fairer. The red ring is an amazing piece of equipment, but it can kind of trivialize a lot of major fights, so we want to be a little fairer here. We meet again. Will you break our curse, or will we break you? Time will tell. And here we have the revenge of the Post sisters, Margaret and Amy. Fighting them is more or less the same as before, except they can double team you and put out the torches in the room. If all the torches go out, as with their curses before, you will get sent back to the entrance of the dungeon. So this fight is a matter of juggling, hitting them, dodging their attacks, and making sure the torches don't all go out. The good news is there are these respawning bushes to give you more ember seeds, so it's more a matter of micromanagement than resource maintaining or something like that. Just keep a careful eye on them. Light the torches. Ooh, that was close. Got a hit out of both of them that time. You can hit them while they're blowing torches out. Mister. No, never! I'll come back to haunt you! Now for her sister. Ah! I don't wanna! And it seems these two undead are dead once more. And now we have a warp back to the entrance of the dungeon because it is quite a distance, quite a walk from the entrance, as you can see. And now on to the last part of the dungeon. This section is rather, yeah, I know this area with all of these staircases can be quote linear, but as far as room setup goes, these are rather, you do go in a bit of an order here. Let's put the red ring back on because we're just fighting regular enemies now, and these blue wizards are a pain in the ass otherwise. Jump over them. Oh, and he turns around. They're just as annoying as they are in Zelda 1. So as you can see, we have a multi-floor puzzle here. Whoopsie. We have red wizards on one floor and blue ones on the other. We want to try and work our way over to that chest for starters because, you know, of course, it's a treasure chest. And since mimics aren't a thing in Zelda games, well, not mimics for chests. Not that 1 rupee is much of a prize. And now with that chest out of the way, we want to first of all check this area down here to find out this is the way we reach the boss, but as yes, that keyhole is different, we don't have the boss key. And there is 1 chest left to find, so odds are that's where our boss key is. And so this last section of the dungeon is linear in the sense that it's basically entirely devoted toward getting to and obtaining the boss key. Not that they don't do some interesting stuff still, because they do definitely do some interesting things here, but it is a little more cramped than the rest of the dungeon is. It's rather different. And so, again, we have a section here where we can see multiple sections ahead. And now we have to very carefully magnet glove our way in here. You could use those, you could leap from one pit to the other to get there, but if we're careful, that's a, oh wow, I don't know how that, so yeah, even if we're sneaky here, uh-oh, got a little too sneaky. Let's try that one more time. I swear this has never happened to me before. Seriously, I never used to have these problems. I don't know, maybe I'm just psyching myself out or something. Okay. Rock's Cape. Leap to safety. Time it just right to get to that platform. If you head off to the right, you can push a block to get back to the main section, if you're so inclined. You have some enemies to defeat. Yes, the teleporting Wizrobe falls down a pit. Maybe we caught him off guard and he couldn't teleport away in time. Slash that. Slash him. And a key falls down from the ceiling. It's not entirely linear, though. You have to go out of our way to get that key there. And wait on the edge here to see that platform. And now we can push this block out of the way to get over to the locked door. And head onward. More interesting stuff here. Haven't seen these since the Poison Moss Lair, for one. That is awfully, what's the word I'm looking for? Awfully suspicious? I guess it clearly makes it look like something is going to show up here, does it not? So we have 3 switches here. And according to that buzzer, that's not the right order to press them in. So those statues seem to imply something for sure. And wait till you see how far you can go when you have Pegasus seeds equipped with the Rock's Cape. Look at that, gap of 5. Hardly a problem at all. Luckily the switch stays pressed. Hit all 3 of them. And that platform diving board thing shows up, letting us leap over here. Although to be honest, you would think that Link could just clear that normally if he weren't limited by the game's mechanics, which would make him jump off that rage section and into the pit for no apparent reason. But we have a switch to press here, which, sure enough, makes a red trampoline appear. So jump on up. We get sent up 2 floors to the first floor. Better land on that. Missed it by that much. Good thing we don't really lose anything except a few seconds, though. Head up here, land on the platform to the south. We saw an owl statue there. Let's see if we can peg it. Platform rotates around, fortunately. Below me, red. My right, red. Only eyes shall shine blue. That clue will come into handy right now, because as we see, there are a lot of crystal switches to be found. That's not what I want. There. So now we want to activate these switches. Below, red. To the right, red. Only eyes shall shine blue. And with that pattern comes an open door. And this is one of the more simplistic sections of the entire dungeon. Just a bunch of dodgy Stalfos. Alright, the green ones like to do that. These green ones, by the way, were the only type of Stalfos in all of Link's Awakening. Just the kind that dodge your attacks and then would try to jump on you. It was rather strange. That's what it was. And so in that chest is none other than the boss key, because of course. Yeah, that section of the dungeon went by quickly, didn't it? So we have to head back to where the boss room is. And actually, it's not going to be that hard of a trek at all. So, I gotta say, this, I really feel like I'm really coming together as far as as far as these episodes have gone, things have really gone a lot more smoothly, and it's just... like, I feel like I'm performing at a higher level. Oh boy, the Wizrubs are back. Get rid of that one, thanks to the disjoint on our sword. Make it... well, that was a ripoff. Is that the word I wanted? That was... anyway. These blue Wizrubs are one of the few things that can stand up to more than one hit from the red ring. Gotcha. There we go. I gotta say, things have really just started coming together. I hope you feel the same way, because I really feel like I'm... let's take a quick detour to, get some pickups from those pots. And maybe those Wizrubs. Hey, fairy, there we go. And so, you know, I hope you feel that things have really gotten better too. I hope I really am improving, and that's not just me thinking that. So for this fight coming up, you're gonna want, first of all, you're gonna actually want Pegasus seeds for this first phase. Because coming up we have another Zelda classic, Gleeok. The two-headed, actually, now that I think about it, Rock's Feather is gonna help a little more. The two-headed fire-breathing dragon, that's been a staple of 2D Zelda. Showing up first in Zelda 1, also making a surprise appearance in Phantom Hourglass. The trick is to jump over these volleys of fire. Ooh, wow. Yeah, he has a second attack where he'll summon fire in a circle around you. It's rather tricky. And I just realized we should probably take the red ring off. A little fair here. Either way, if you see any fire coming at you, there's a third attack, a spread shot. If you see any fire coming at you, Rock's Feather will get you out of harm's way. Dealing enough damage to one of the heads will send it flying around, just like in previous Zeldas, although each head has their own health, and if you don't defeat both heads quickly enough, one of the heads will reattach. But if you, as long as you're decently fast about it, I'm being overly haphazard here. Careful, let's not use that potion. Oh boy, don't get hit. There's one. Wait, I don't have a potion? Oh, this sucks. I thought I had a potion, I swear. See you guys, in a couple minutes. So the good news is those fairies seem to respawn when necessary, so that is a godsend. And now with the knowledge that we don't have a potion to fall back on, 333 rupees. Well, let's try and refight this boss. I'd ask why the door didn't relock itself, but who's going to relock it? This thing doesn't have arms. Just 2 heads and 2 legs. More of a wyvern than a dragon, actually. Regardless, if at all possible, you want to time your attacks. You want to focus on using spin attacks to hit both heads at once. That way you'll be detaching them simultaneously, and you won't have to worry about all the craziness involving making sure you kill them both very quickly. But that's not all. You see, there's a second phase to the fight. And here's where Rock's Cake comes in handy, because Gleeok's undead, still moving body will jump down, creating a shockwave that will stun you if you're touching the ground when it lands, and it will stun you for long enough that you will get hit by its subsequent ramming attack. And that does a lot of damage, so be careful. Deal a few hits when it hits a wall, then jump over the shockwave and get the hell out of the way. You know what to do. This phase isn't all that. Uh-oh. Wait, did I even get hit by that? Okay, no, that was just a delay of a... I'm not sure what happened there. I just keep going, and eventually, Gleeok will fall for good. By the way, check out the setup in this room. You notice the spikes are arranged in a way that the blocks in the Gleeok fight rooms in Zelda 1 were. Interesting little nod, while also being a little more difficult than just having a bunch of blocks. Anyway, here's our heart container. And through this room... you got the Seed of Life, an essence of nature. Life begins anew when birds carry this, the Seed of Life, to new lands. You know, when you think about it, it's kind of weird that we just picked up a Seed of Life in a dungeon crawling with undead. Yeah, well, Maku Tree, any info? Say, Link, the Seed of Life has given me new strength. Now for the last essence of nature. But this time, I saw no dreams. So I rely on you, Link. It is somewhere in Holodrum. Good luck. Thanks to you, my strength is returning. Good luck, Link. And now we are 7 dungeons through this game. Hard to believe we're starting to move that quickly, huh? Just 1 away from our final confrontation. Sorry about that, guys. I had a bit of a screw up on my monologue. So next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, we're going to be making our usual rounds around Haron Village, but then we're going to be setting off to find where the 8th Essence of Nature might lie. Something tells me it might be in that section of the map we still haven't explored yet. So, see you guys next time.